See, now there's the COVID situation is happening, and people are trying to buy groceries, medicines. The way they're standing in the line, how they're experiencing the store, whether it's safe, hygienic. That itself is a huge problem statement to solve as a UX designer.
So your first full-time work that you did was with Practo. So you were a product designer there. What was exactly your job role?
I did like a short internship because I was still studying when I got hired. So I used to go part time and did that. And I had a great mentor there. So he kind of was very flexible in helping me learn and become a better designer. My role was initially on like small projects where I think I was just being tested on what are my strengths. And slowly I moved on to the whole team, which was the Practo Ray product. So they use it for practice management in clinics, and doctors and receptionists and other employees, they kind of use it to manage the practice. I stayed there for 1 year on that project, and that overall learning process of starting from scratch, from product that is live and taking it to the next level, how to deal with multiple stakeholders like engineering team, product managers. I think those are the things I learned the most from a job experience. It was fun. I made like a lot of friends in Bangalore. I think because the team was quite nice, and then it got really big. So we had like a lot of good times there.
How was the experience and the work you did different from the UX consultancy that you were doing before?
So in a UX consultancy that I was doing before was where I was only focusing on the product and the user experience and not really keeping the business aspect really strongly in mind, because they had dedicated people to do that. And that was like the role was more like rigid and defined to what my scope of change was. Whereas in a full-time office setting as a product designer, it's important to understand what the business is trying to do, because when you propose solutions, if they are not fitting timelines or if they're not aligned with the OKRs, it's not going to like do any benefit for the business. So you have to keep like a balance between a good user experience, also the business and the other stakeholders, kind of empathize with them, like developers, how much time do they need? Like if I make a design that is so grand, the developers only have 2 weeks of time to execute it. That vision is too large for that time frame. So structuring that and sharing those kind of ideas with the team is like the primary part of the.
So what skills are basically required to be a product designer or a UX designer?
I would split it into two parts. One is the hands-on skills and one is the thinking. So design thinking is developed over time. It's not like an overnight thing or a week-long thing. So you can learn about it in a week or a month, but unless you practice it on a day-to-day basis, so that's really critical. Like design thinking, knowing about processes and how to kind of solve problems, come up with different ideas, unblock yourself, unblock others. So the theoretical and thought process behind it. And then the software skills are there. It's good to know Sketch, Adobe XD, Figma for making the UI, and then you have animation tools to prototype like Marvel, Envision, Zeppelin is there. So these kind of tools are there that you should learn just to get started as even a freelancer or a employee somewhere. I have always believed in learning things yourself. So get a book, read about it, try to understand it, and try to apply it to like sample problems and see what you come up with. Other than that, MIT Media Lab also has like a PDF document that you can download and learn from, like how to run a design sprint. I think Google also has their own design methodology. You can find those things out. Those are like some easy ways to get started. But yeah, learning it yourself is what I would kind of recommend for you. If you are like you're still in college or you're planning to do a degree in design, it's important to just get an early start so you get a feel of what you're getting into, and then decide what course or which college works out for you.
Tell us some like top 3 skill a UX designer needs and how can that be learned?
And there's this website called hackdesign.com that has like a full lesson plan on how you can learn design and how to take those design principles and apply it to UX design. I think everywhere you go, especially in India, whatever you try to do, there's always an experience issue, right? You can take day-to-day problems, solve it like how you would want it to be, and that's like a great start. It's not like a MBA where you read through a case study and you know what you have to do. Each problem statement will require you to break the processes and follow your own intuition at times, and take a call on those things as well. You won't get answers all the time from like definitive data or research. So that's always there to kind of empathize with who you're designing for. Some examples could be like, see, now there's the COVID situation is happening, and people are trying to buy groceries, medicines. The way they're standing in the line, how they're experiencing the store, whether it's safe, hygienic, that itself is a huge problem statement to solve as a UX designer, in how to kind of construct that space for this situation where people can still have some form of normalcy in their life, but still get their work done without any hassle. Like, I went out to the store and I saw that there's a huge line. There's no place for people to stand in the queue. And also the distances are not being maintained. So, like, as a designer, can you build something around that can solve this for them? I don't know, but that's an example. Then hospitals, shopping malls, those are kind of like, holistic experiences where you can do a lot more beyond just like a mobile app or a software screen. I think malls are a great example because that is like a mecca of experiential design. From the time you enter to everything that you see, how it's laid out, where the map is, where the digital screens are, where the self-service counters are for ticketing or for food. So I mean, there's like ample amount of examples everywhere. So that's a good way. Then another way is to kind of learn from what other people has done. So follow other designers who have good portfolio. They talk about their work. I know there's this guy called Sanat Rath who I've been following for I think 5 to 7 years now. The way he works and how he presents his stuff, and it's quite nice. You should like anyone who's aspiring to be a designer should check out his portfolio, and that is like a case study.
Apart from designing, you also had a team lead, like you had team lead kind of a role. So where did
Yeah.
you do some project management, design reviews, and many mentoring and performing evaluation and stuff like that? Like you had your own design team, which you had to like lead. What was the whole
Yeah.
experience like? Because before that you were always an individual collaborator. Now you were like leading a team. So how was it like?
Right. It taught me how to work like with other people, especially like how to be kind to them, because I used to struggle with that. I'm very direct with my feedback and my communication, and what I realized, it doesn't fly with everyone. So kind of having that skill to realize what the other person is like, and getting the same point across but in a different manner, was I think the biggest learning. Yeah, and we had like a lot of feedback sessions, mentoring them, helping them stay in the company a lot of times. At the same time, talking them of what they're unhappy about. So these are some new things that I had to kind of do, because you're also kind of accountable for their performance and their quality of work. So I was very involved with my team members.
After you were like done with the 9 to 5 conventional work, you like try to have a job or like different kind of things. You also like were a visiting faculty for PES University. So like teaching, what was that like? That
Yeah,
was such a young age.
the thing was that I had a lot of free time. I was only working like 4 5 hours a day. I could shift some things around, get this in, and I was analyzing whether I wanted to study or what I wanted to do, and I just felt that this could look good on my resume. If I have to work as an assistant or something in the future, I think it'll be valuable. So I did visit there just to kind of learn what teaching as a process requires you to do. So I liked some parts of it. I did not like some parts of it as well. But it was fun, like especially because the kids still have hopes and dreams. It's not been shattered by the reality of life. So it's fun to kind of be around that kind of energy, because they're throwing ideas. They're still like enthusiastic about stuff. They don't have anything else going on other than design in their life, right? So that brings out like a lot of clarity to the thoughts, and it's fun. It's more than anything, it's like a lot more fun. So that's what I loved about it. Other than that, the operations and how the colleges run, and those are, I think, some of the challenges that I learned from the teaching experience.
So in your life in future, will you ever think of like being a professor or a teacher?
I'm actually open to it. I don't know, like it depends on where it is and what kind of role it is. If it's a good balance between industry and academics, then I might do it. I think that works out perfectly for me. Um, but yeah, I haven't put any active thought on how it's going to happen.
Now let's come to the self-employment part of it now, like of which most of the thing that you do is that you're a music producer. And you've,
Yeah.
I think so, also done a course on DJ. So
Yeah.
like this was like very sudden and different. Is this a newfound love for music, or the music love was always there?
I mean, I was doing it since I was a kid, but I never like seriously pursued it. It was like on and off. Whenever I would get like, oh, I want to be a musician, or oh, this electronic track is really cool, I would sit down for a while. So I've been doing this since 2007. Yeah, I think so, that far back. But I was not really pursuing it as such. Then I was out of a job in between because my company had shut down. So I was just chilling and I wanted to learn something new, and was just impromptu. I just saw some sale online and I bought this mixer. Learned it on my own from YouTube, and then I found someone in Bangalore who was running a music school to teach me, and that was quite nice actually. It gave me a it gave me a lot of confidence to start doing gigs at venues. So that was fun, but it was mainly a hobby. So I used to just do it after work hours. Um, and the main reason I did it because I wanted to make new friends and see like what's happening outside, like the office work culture.
Mm.
So you get a different perspective into other people's lives, how their experience has been, careers, and I think opportunity-wise, it kind of opens up a lot. You get start thinking about your own life in like different angles, um, because you don't really get to explore much as a kid in India in the education system. So it's important to kind of do that at some point of time in your life. So that's why I did it, to be honest. And then once it started picking up, I started liking it, and now I spend a lot of time behind music, producing, releasing it, those kind of things. I'm working on an album while I'm trying to also run the consultancy on the side. So it's a lot of work on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, Amlan, thank you so much for being part of this. I hope a lot of students who are watching this have
Okay.
like got some idea and they'll be planning things.